Mm. Good evening, beautiful ladies. Good evening, good afternoon. However, you are viewing this video, what up? We got a nice little topic. We're going to discuss something very different. We're going to talk about something very different, something that, it's a freestyle conversation, but it's an issue that I would love to engage with because it's a controversial conversation. I remember when I was younger and I was looking at this on TV and I was just paying attention to it, and I was in my real rebellious black pride stages, and I was very much in confusion and kind of like sort of pissed, like, yo, damn, Mike, really? But at the same time, I didn't expect anything else. So we're gonna talk about a situation, and the situation is a young lady who just recently passed away, who was a soldier in somewhat of a way for Michael Jackson. You might call him wacko, you might call him weirdo, but we all call Michael Jackson one of the greatest alive to do it. Some people have their suspicions of him. So many have so much doubt. And that's why I'm going to do this topic, because this topic is very much needed. It's a conversation that must be presented. And it's not just about Michael, it's about the principle. It's about what many men need. What Michael needed at the time, what many men need is a companion. Is someone to actually would love them for who they are. And as a black man, that's all we've been looking for. That's all we need. That's all we need and want. We need that certain level of companionship. And that certain level of companionship has disintegrated. It disappeared. And it's not in family structure. It's not in the church. It's not in the school. It's nowhere to be found. It's no long. It's definitely not on social media. And what's needed is that we talk about the black love. So black love is the topic, and that wasn't. Just keep the word black love. Black man needs love, and the type of love we need is support. So I'm going to go into that because this lady, she died, and for some reason, a lot of people just really allowing things to slip and slide, and not looking at, is there something deep to it? Is there something deep to this person's death? You have Prince dead, Michael dead, Bill Cosby, they dead in his pockets. Is this a major conspiracy that we don't want to really see because we have race issues? Well, folks, I want us to get off race for 1 second. I want us to really stay focused on what it is. We talk about love and we talk about money and power. When you talk about love, money, and power, or money, power, and love, whichever way you want to put it, where do the power shift and who really reaps the love? And the love is actually the money. You understand what I'm saying? The love is the money, because the love for the money would make you do whatever you got to do to gain the power. And did that woman die because of natural causes, or did that woman die because of the years of the turmoil? And not just the turmoil, but the people around that was looking to, I'm gonna use this word, rape her from everything she has, from her being Elvis Presley's daughter to her being Michael Jackson's wife. A lot of people would like to look at Beyonce and Rihanna as powerful figures, Oprah as powerful figure, but quiet as kept, that woman was a powerful woman. I don't know what type of finances she was playing with. How about I check real quick? We got the Google on hand, so let's check. I should have had these numbers, but why not? I like being live and checking because it's much better. sometimes. Let's check real quick. Uh, Lisa Presley's net worth. Oh, come on. Let's try this. Lisa Presley's net worth.
Here's information from SSAMITI org.
They ain't talking. Okay, well, I was hoping she said something, because I mean, $16 million. Lisa became a part of recently held Golden Globes Awards 2023. Here she reached with her Priscilla Presley. The singer was the only daughter of the late American actor, singer, and musician Elvis Presley. So she was left with a few dollars. How much money did Lisa inherit from Elvis? When Lisa Presley finally got access to her inheritance in 1993, she founded a trust in her father's name to manage his estate. But in 2004, she agreed to sell off 85% of Elvis Presley's enterprise assets. Okay, now this is very important. When women don't have a coverage, when she don't have like a strong male figure in her life, she's going to move rationally. And she sold off 85% of Elvis Presley enterprise assets, including Elvis likeness rights for around 100 million to music entrepreneurs, Robert FX. So you tell me that in 2004, she sold all her daddy stuff, and now she's only worth. By the time she died, she was only worth $16 million. That's the story we want to talk about. How the industry and the vultures will kill you. Even if it's slow, they will slowly kill you, get you on the drugs, get you on the medication. Hey, I got a doctor, he can prescribe you something for this. I know what you're going through, sweetheart. Because you know what I'm saying? What's so sad is that it's easy to get women to be on drugs. See, people think that drugs is always about hitting the streets, going to the corner, going to the dude with the hoodie on, and he's giving you a little pack, he's giving you a little bag or something like that. But no, drugs is when you go to the RX. That RX, that's the drugs. That's the major dealer. And so when we can get you on these drugs, we can slowly get your money and slowly make you do irrational things. And then when we can bombard you with everything that we need to bombard you with, meaning that all the hate, like I said, I'm gonna get into the hate. I'm going to get into how this woman truly self-destructed, and it was the people who did it. Because I think that even at the time, I was looking through a lens of wickedness. I think I was looking through the eyes of hate. And I mean, being a rebel, black man, rise, being a rebel, no matter what, you have to call it for what it is. And so, did we drive this woman insane? The media, that's what I'm talking about. The press, the interviews drive her crazy. Well, she said something that was very interesting to me. She says remember, she's a white woman, she's a Caucasian woman. She likes weird stuff. And so being that she liked weird stuff, let's get into it. This is a very interesting topic because, like I say, our black women can learn a lot from individuals that don't look like them. Our black men can learn a lot from individuals that don't look like him. And we as people can learn a whole lot from animals. And as people, we don't have, we ain't talking about color. So I'm going to get into that because this is a very interesting topic. It's so interesting, folks. I really, really think that it's going to come up again. I think that something's going to come up about this woman, and I believe that it's going to come up in a way that is going to reveal who was behind the death. Who was behind the death? And like I say, it's easy to get you on medication. Saying depression, prenatal pills, birth control. it's easy for our ladies to be prescribed medication. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. That's the first birth control. That's like one of the first medications that they get you hooked on. They get you on that, and then most women, they have major side effects of it. But once they get into the system and the rhythm of taking pills, then that's the start. A lot of young ladies, they on birth control in the teenage years. So as a teenager, you're on birth control. 16, 17, 18 on birth control. So that's the start of pill taking. And I'm not really trying to stay on it, but I want you to understand that it's an issue that we must really address. And I believe that we can take these deaths that we keep seeing and make a case. And I'm going back to the fact that kid Stephanie Mills, I'm doing Stephanie because it's two parts. We got Stephanie Mills and we have Tina Marie. I want to use those two women because those two women, I believe, actually truly had a love for Michael. Stephanie Mills in her younger years, and then Tina Marie as she got older. Stephanie Mills met Michael Jackson when she was young. Stephanie Mills, I mean, come on. Stephanie Mills was a legend in her time because she was out there making music at the age of 7. She was already in plays at the age of 10. Apollo. She don't know nothing about working a job. Her job was to get on that mic and sing. And so when she came across the mic at a young age. And at that young age, in that time, love was real. Respect was real. Admiring was real. Admire was a beautiful thing. Back then, it used to be, had a crush on you, admire you. Now it's hating and stop sweating and whatever else whatever else they say, cap and all the other crazy corny stuff to make it negative to have a certain type of feeling for you. And it's so sad because they brainwash us with these negative connotations, having a negative feeling towards each other, that we can't have that natural love. And going back to what the title is, it's important for us to be able to teach our people how to support Black men, because if we don't, it's just going to be nothing but hate, and killing, because we just got the negative, evil energy around us. So I believe that we can learn from these two women, Stephanie Mills and Lisa Marie, and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, like Stephanie said, she said, I'm gonna let her tell her story. I'm gonna let both of them tell their stories so that you can understand the level where we at. Lisa Marie Presley and Stephanie Mills teaches on how to support women. All right. So let me go to my little presentation, because it's very important for you to get this right here. Because in 2023, we're going to end we're going to end the bull crap. We're going to end the bull crap of this negative energy that we have of hate. We're going to end it. And the way we're going to end is we're going to look from within. We're going to look at ourselves from within. Shit, where's the other interview? Oh, it's right there. Okay, copy. Hold up. Wait a minute. You can't be serious. I was just watching the video right before I got off. Oh, it's right here. I'm bugging out. I was just watching the video right before I came on. Okay, let me get it. Stephanie Mills was on the Breakfast Club just recently. And the reason why I'm going to Stephanie first is because she and Mike had a relationship at the beginning. But Stephanie said something that, was real and deep, was very real, powerful, strong, but made me think about why it's important for us to also look at the blueprint that Lisa Marie also laid out. These two women have very strong support for this man.
I don't.
So
Not
when's the
now.
last time you've been to a club, a strip club? I'm just curious.
A strip club. Own up to that.
Was that hush money? Why'd you do that for him?
Dated while he was
Black, you was gonna say.
yeah.
That's fine. That's the truth.
Yeah, we dated.
What was his mind set back
He
then?
was the most gentle, most kind, but he never said a bad word about anybody. I've never seen him upset. Never. He was so gentle and so kind, and he's not a pedophile, not at all.
When did he start changing? Like when
So
you started
you're
seeing
not
him
gonna let me
lighting his
unplug?
skin and doing
Unmute
stuff
it?
with his hair?
I think when he became bigger, you know, in
This a
entertainment
first?
world, they always tell you, because I was always black, I was too black to this, to that. So they want you to cross over.
Here I am trying
So they
to
tell you
unmute
have to,
this,
you know,
but for
not
some
sing so
reason
soulful,
it's
not.
staying muted. So what I'm
So
gonna
I
do is
think
I'm
when
gonna
he
close the tab, which is annoying. I had it all situated, had it ready, but it's muted and didn't want to play. So I'm gonna go out and come back in. I sit here for like 20 minutes, becoming late, trying to get everything situated, and then next thing you know, my situation makes a situation. Don't you hate when your situation makes a situation? The situation makes a situation. And the reason why I'm trying not to have that feedback, the feedback is driving me crazy. I don't know why I keep getting that feedback. You feel me? And that's what getting me upset, the feedback.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce.
Wake that ass up.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even be liking doing these live streams because of the feedback I be getting, and I don't understand when I look at my videos. I'm like, why I got feedback? So, okay, so you got that situated, right? Bam. 10 minutes wasted for no reason. Okay, so now we're gonna go out. We're gonna come back in. Share screen. We're gonna try this all over again. Stephanie Mills. My uncle used to love her to death. Listen to this interview. I wish I could have came across her. I wish I could have came across Stephanie. Okay, so now we got that situated.
I haven't. People don't give me presents. I don't know why. I've never had a man to shower me with presents. I've always bought my own presents.
Not even Michael Jackson. Then you used to date Michael Jackson?
I used to date Michael Jackson, but we were young.
He ain't had that money yet.
Well, he was doing the Wiz, and we lived on certain. Not we, but we. You know, he stayed on certain places. I used to stay there and go with him to the film and stuff. But no, he never bought me anything.
How long y'all used to date?
We dated while
Black, you was gonna say.
That's fine. That's the truth.
Yeah, we dated.
What was his mind set back
He
then?
was the most gentle, most kind, but he never said a bad word about anybody. I've never seen him upset. Never. He was so gentle and so kind, and he's not a pedophile, not at all.
When did he start changing? Like when you started seeing him lighting his skin and doing stuff with his hair?
I think when he became bigger. You know, in entertainment world, they always tell you, because I was always black, I was too black to this, to that. So they want you to cross over. So they tell you you have to, you know, not sing so soulful. So I think when he crossed over to pop, which I don't like labels, because I think music is music. That's when he began to change. When he got all that success, and he had, I believe he had.
And when did y'all break? Why did y'all break up? Why did y'all stop?
Because I didn't want to go to certain people's houses for dinner, or so I didn't want to do that.
The white people he started hanging around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't season the chicken.
Well, you just could probably see the devilish ways in them, and that's probably when you started to see the change. And
Yeah, and I wasn't going to change my, you know, if I was too black, if my songs were too R&B. You know, only one of my songs was played on pop radio.
Which
and that's
one?
Never Knew Love Like This
Oh,
Before.
that's my song too.
so, why do you think he got caught up in the whole pedophile thing?
Because Michael liked being around children because they were innocent. Even my brother Andre used to hang around my house, and they didn't want anything. They didn't have an agenda, and I think that's why he liked being around children. They just like to play and have fun. They didn't have an agenda, but most people around him had an agenda. They wanted something. I mean, I would go to Havenhurst and see mothers drop their daughters off to stand at that gate and wait for Michael.
Really?
Mothers dropping their children, their daughters off at the gate to wait for Michael, to interact with Michael, to hang with Michael, to sleep over with Michael's house. Hopefully to get a check from Michael, just to get 10,000, 5,000, get anything from him. So this woman's sitting right here, and like I said, the name of this title is Stephanie Mills Teaches on How to Support Your Black Man. Okay? She's showing you that one way of supporting is unadulterated love. You know what I'm saying? The man's dead. She don't have to do any of this, right? He's gone. But she knows he has a legacy. You understand? She's not even tarnishing his legacy. Do you understand how many people they come back and they tarnish a person's legacy? And that's because of the fact that, you know, they are caught in that web. They are so caught up in the web of destroying one another that, you know, they know that they shouldn't do this, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway because that's what the wave is doing. And that's what happens with many folks. Stephanie Mills is actually a strong woman because she stood her ground, and all the little questions that they were saying, she's like, no, Mike wasn't a pedophile. No, Mike was this. No. What do y'all think? Y'all think that she is just an illusion? You think that she just so much of a fan for Michael that she didn't see or didn't know the true Michael? As she stands here, sits here right here on this interview, I believe this was like 3 years ago, and she's giving this interview, and this interview is letting you know that to this day she believes in her heart that no, Mike was innocent. She's standing by him. She's a Southern girl who lives in Brooklyn now, and she loves the I won't say the street life, but you know, she loved a man she loved an alpha man. She loved a man who has a little bit backbone and some testosterone. And one thing she said about Mike, she said, yo, he was a nigga. That's what I tell her. You know what I'm saying? She said that Mike wasn't no soft dude. And the funny thing about it is that I sat there the other day and I was watching some videos of Mike, and I remember that, yo, Mike, actually, if you take away the fact that Mike had a soft voice, Mike was not soft. He was rich. He spoke. And a lot of times you gotta understand, you know, people, they speak and they speak their mind. So they would speak blunt, and they just speak what it is because that's who he was. You know, and so the beauty of this interview was the fact that she not only did she say that he wasn't a pedophile, but she said that he was a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what she said. Excuse my language, you know, ladies and gentlemen, but that's what she said. She said he just wasn't no soft guy who you know, and she said she talked about the black Michael. She talked about the Michael when he had dark skin. Let's get back to the video. Okay. Please let me know if it's sounding stupid.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think it was strange, any of his behavior, like staying over with the kids, anything like that?
I didn't think it was strange.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think anything he did was strange. I think the public and I think people that are around him made it strange, and because he liked that, they made the story. But he's not that. He was the most gentle person, kind.
Did you guys stay in touch even after all of that? Like
We did. When he did the bad video, he called me and he wanted my best friend, who was Greg Burge, to choreograph the bad video. And I got in touch and they got in touch with each other. And then I went to visit the set. That was the first time I ever saw him when he had totally changed.
What did you think?
I
You say
whispered,
nigga.
I whispered something. I whispered something in his ear. He
What'd you
didn't like
say,
it.
Miss Miller?
I'm not gonna
Come
tell you.
Was the nigga involved in the sentence though?
I used to call him a nigga all the time.
Yeah,
And he used to laugh.
I heard he used to use the word. I heard Michael was a nigga.
Yeah, he was a nigga and he was not soft. People thought he was soft. He was not soft. No, but I used to call him nigga all the time, and he would laugh, him and LaToya.
What about him in competition with Prince?
I never heard him say anything about Prince.
Okay.
Never.
Because there
I
was
love
always the
Prince.
rumor that the two of them had like this thing.
I think that was just a rumor. I don't think Michael was in competition with anybody but himself.
Were you upset you didn't get to play opposite of him in The Wiz? Because being that was a role that made you
No,
famous.
you know why? Because I loved Diana Ross, and I really truly believe that God has a plan and you get what you get. I'm never jealous of anybody. Never.
Not, I mean, just a little disappointed, upset. Like, when she got the role.
I've had a wonderful.
She's from the old
You know
school,
what I'm saying?
homeboy. Yo.
And that
Y'all-
Wiz
you-
was
you the
nothing
generation.
like the
You
Wiz
the
on Broadway.
generation.
Did he ever help you with any music, write with you or anything like that?
No, we were gonna write some stuff, but we never got around to doing it. We were.
What was it like being part of Motown? I know you were signed to Motown, like you said briefly, with Barry Gordy. Did you do the whole Motown boot camp, like with the artists, where they had to go
Hold
and do
on,
all the
folks. I'm
interviews?
Well,
trying
you
to
know,
look at this, honey.
that's the beautiful thing about when we were coming through. They really trained you how to do interviews and
See, we had
what not to
etiquettes.
say and what to say. And don't cross your legs on television and things like that. And I think that kind of boot camp is so missing in today's world. Because I loved it. And then coming from Broadway and having to do press and everything, it really trained. Broadway was the best education as far as doing stage shows.
Really?
Forgive me,
Yes,
folks. I'm sorry.
because Broadway artists don't clap in the middle of anything. They wait to the end of the song. So as an artist,
How much
you
scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days?
Getting lots of eye contact. Feel like this is going well. Just wish I knew what she was thinking.
Yo, I hate commercials so much.
Is it not true that
think that you're not doing well what you are. So when I began to do shows, I wasn't expecting the
I don't want to
audience
be
clap
talking about
and
this right. I'm going to
clap.
rewind
So it
because
was
I want
and to be on
us to
time.
get back.
If you were 15 minutes late, you couldn't go on.
Right.
Wow.
But love to perform with a female entertainer, but it's hard.
Yo, you don't hear the name Freddie Jackson that much.
I know,
There
but
used to be
he's
a
so
time it was
wonderful.
Freddie and Luther. It
Matter of
used
fact,
to
let's
seem like
let her speak
she
this
looked at you as
speak right here
competition,
before we
or-
go.
I don't think she looked at me as competition, but it's very hard to say you have a friend in female singers in this business.
Is
Really?
there anyone you would
Did you hear what
consider
you
a
just
friend?
said?
Angela Winbush.
Oh,
I
okay.
like Angela. I love
would
Angela.
consider-
Winbush.
I went to Motown and met Mr. Gordy and Suzanne DePez. They took me to Vegas to see her shows a lot. So I admired her style and her class and her grace on stage.
Y'all never had a friendship?
No,
Really? It seemed like y'all would be peers though.
in this business, it's not friendship.
She looked at you as competition, or
I don't think she looked at me as competition, but it's very hard to say you have a friend in
Look.
female singers in this business.
Is there,
Really?
is there anyone you would consider a friend?
Angela Winbush.
Oh, okay.
Angela Winbush. I would consider her a friend. Freddie Jackson. You know, of course, TP, Teddy Pendergrass, was my big brother. But it's very hard because recently I tried to put a show together, and it's very hard because I'd love to perform with female entertainers, but it's hard.
yo, you don't hear the name Freddie Jackson.
Why is it hard, ladies? Why is this 62-year-old woman at this time saying it's very hard? And this was very hard in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s. Why was it so hard? And it's still hard to this day. Can someone tell me why is it so hard for us to come together? Especially like she said, it's hard for female singers to come together. Why? And that goes to the title. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about, supporting black men, just think about the support level all across. She's about black women and coming together and being part of the same movements, the same stage, the same microphone. And she's saying it's very hard. Why is that, folks? Because we live in times where they teach you so much hate and they want you to have so much hate amongst each other. And then when the hate shifts on to the opposite sex, do you guys know what happens when that happens, folks? That's why it's important for you to take heed to this conversation and understand the importance of changing that paradigm. We cannot and we can no longer live in that world. That world has to come to an end. This woman is 60 some years of age and she's saying the same thing. It's hard to collaborate. So as a black man sitting here and I'm looking for a woman, I'm looking for a black woman, I'm looking for my wife, I'm looking for my queen, and this woman saying it's hard for them to collaborate and work together. Just think about live 20, 30, 40 a lifetime together, but until you die. Through sick, in good health, and rich and poor. We ain't talking about no contracts of $1 million and no record deals. We talk about life. We talk about the struggle. So the most important thing is to find that path that's going to bring you towards that unity that's needed, that bond. And it's going to come with coaching. It's going to come with training because we got to break the spell, folks. This is coming from a legend. She's only 4'11". She's a legend. And if you pay attention to what she's saying, she's done been through a lot. You know, from her skin tone being darker, her being a shorter woman. You got all these women towering over her. Her not being that dancer. Her not being a promiscuous woman. So she had a lot going against her. And at the very end, she still, if you listen to all the men that she would name, she said, "Oh, Teddy, I loved him. Oh, this guy loved him. That was my first husband, loved him. And Michael Jackson, I loved him." Everything that she say about the men, oh, we have fights and everything, but I loved him. Oh, he was crazy. She said, "Oh, he was crazy. I had to let him go." But yet and still, she had real love for her people. And it's important for you to understand that we do get along. We just got to stop allowing them to keep putting that image out there that we don't. We do get along, and you have to believe that we can get along. And that's why it's important for you to take heed to what she's saying. Don't break the line. Don't break the line. Stand firm at the front line. What do I mean by that? Don't break. This is all we have. Like I said, she's teaching you right here in this little conversation of the strength. She really is. She really is.
Asking that much.
I know,
There
but
used to be
he's
a
so
time it was
wonderful.
Freddie and Luther. It used to seem like
I
you would hear.
know, but they don't see.
Oh, you disrespecting Freddie live?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he is. But I think that we are tolerated. We're not celebrated in this business.
Even by our own?
Even by, well, I think that our own celebrate, but not enough. But I really do believe that the black artists in this industry is tolerated.
When you put out that single, Something in the Way, right?
Yes, that was written by Angela Winbush.
Really?
Wow.
Yes,
And
and
what-
produced.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
And of all the DJs, were you aware of all the DJs doing their own mixes and their own
No,
blends and everything?
no, but did
Like,
you
I
see
seen
the
you
one
Kid
with
Capri.
Kid Capri? And he told me I was not aware of that.
Not at all.
Not at all. No.
Wow.
Nobody ever, you never been in a party and heard nobody playing it?
I didn't go
Gotcha.
to clubs or anything like that. Really. And now that I'm old, I'm like,
You're not
I want
old.
to party and get out there, but I didn't go. I didn't hang out that much. I was always working. I was
Yeah.
Always working.
You feel like you
child
missed your childhood
since
in a
she was like that woman.
No, I think I made up for it in my 40s.
So what you doing your
Oh,
40s?
So she had to check us out.
Goodness
See,
gracious.
look at her. She had that second childhood.
A little frisky.
What do you call frisky? What is frisky?
I
Miss
had a little
Mills?
fun.
Okay.
I was a cougar in my 40s.
Oh, so you mess with younger men?
Yes.
Okay.
She said yes, straight up. Yes.
Yes, I
Did
did.
they know? Did they even know you was 40 something? Because
Yeah.
you know.
I always was. I'm always honest. I don't like people that say they're not. Well, I can say I don't respect people that don't own up to their own age. You've earned those years.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
Were those the guys that were attracted to you too? Like the younger guys were always trying to talk to you?
younger guys were always attracted to me. They thought I was younger.
Right.
And
Yeah, you only
the younger
Were you
4'11".
Were you a sugar mama too? Because you had money.
Yes. And that's
4'11",
when I got
thick-
turned off. I don't
thick
want to be a sugar
thighs.
mama. You know, I was a sugar mama.
They didn't ask, did they? Like, you
No,
just
but
give
I'm
them a
a
little
giver.
something.
I'm a
Yeah,
giver.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a giver by
You like, I'm flying first class. He got to fly first class.
Yes,
too.
yes.
What's the
If
most
I-
you ever gave a young man, Miss Mills?
car,
Whoa, what kind of car?
What kind?
What
Before we
kind
get
of
excited.
car?
a BMW and a Mercedes.
Damn.
Wow. One guy got 2 cars?
No, one guy got a BMW and one guy got a Mercedes.
Was that hush money? Why'd you do that for him?
No, the one I was. I gotta say this. My ex-husband, Michael Saunders, was the program director for this station.
Yeah.
And when I walked in here this morning, I was like, "This is 105. This is where he used to work." Yeah, he got the
So
Mercedes.
all these rooms can tell some stories about you and Michael.
No, but we were divorced by then.
Okay.
Well, we were still cool, but yeah.
Was it a lease or you outright purchased the car? and gave-
Purchased?
That's nice. I'd imagine like maybe a lease and then you make the payments.
Now
But
she bought it. She
No.
bought.
Angela Yee, I mean, you such like a cornball. That's all I can say. It's like you get cornball so much in everything that you do and say. You do not represent what this title is about. You know what I'm saying? She said, "So what you gonna do? Lease it and give it to him? So what? You can lose it? Not make a payment?" No, she bought the shit. It's not like it had to been brand new. She bought the car. It could have been year 2000. She probably could have gotten like a 97. The year could have been like 2005. She probably got him like a 2005. She bought it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like this whole younger generation, we I'm not even gonna say we, but it's like the mentality is not there. It's like open hand and then closed mind. And that's not going to be the thing that's going to make the men stronger. Not pampering is not going to make them stronger neither. Being the sugar mom is not going to make them stronger neither. But the lack of support is destroying. You understand what I'm saying? The lack of support is destroying. The pampering is not helping. There's a big difference.
Baller.
what's the nicest thing anybody ever got you?
I haven't. People don't give me presents.
Oh.
I've never had a man to shower me with presents. I've always bought my own presents.
Not even Michael Jackson. Didn't you used to date Michael Jackson?
I used to date Michael Jackson.
The question wasn't supposed, once you went to Michael, it's like you're going to open up a whole nother conversation. But I would like to know, like, why do you think that was the case? Like, why you think that wasn't the case? And if you pay attention to Angela, she was like, the point of the asking the question was because in her little rabbit head mind, she was like, shit, I would never did that. I would never done that. So then she like, well, I wonder what they got her. Realistically, I don't even think, if you listen to this woman, I don't think that she said she ain't really started doing much in life until she was in her 40s. I think that she was really like isolated. I really think that she was isolated, folks. So that by the time she did come out, she just came out and she was just an older woman. She had her money. She had her position in life, and she just dealt with not I won't say regular guys, but she didn't deal with industry people. She didn't deal with people like a Kim Kardashian and a Kanye, a Jay-Z and a Beyonce. She didn't do that. She was just a regular woman. You can just tell. Look at what she got on. You could just tell. Look at her hair. You could just tell that she was a regular woman. She was part of this whole life so long that this was her regular lifestyle, that she was just regular. And it's so hard to take people that you see on the TV, people that you see on the magazines, people that you see all the time as just being able to be regular. That's why this social media actually show you that regular people can do it too. 90% of the people that's doing big things are just regular folks who just found the way to make some money. I want to know how much it bothered her. These are questions that they could have really asked her, but it went to the Michael Jackson. So now let's go into it.
Jackson, but we were young.
He ain't had that money yet.
Well, he was doing the Wiz, and we lived on Sutton. I'm not we, but we, he stayed on Sutton Place, and I used to stay there and go with him to the film and stuff. But no, he never bought me anything.
Now, did you hear what she just said? She said she used to stay with Michael. She used to stay at Michael's house. She used to stay. If you want to hear this interview, she's going to say many times that she stayed at his house many a times. Why did she stay at his house many of times? And then you say, why did those kids stay in his house many times? And that's what you got to get to, folks, because he was a legend. It wasn't that it was weird. It was like he was a legend. And once we can get that in our thick
How long y'all
skull,
used to date?
then we can move forward.
We dated while he was
Black, you was gonna say.
yeah. Mhm.
That's fine. That's the truth.
Yeah, we dated.
What was his mindset back then?
He was the most gentle, most kind. He never said a bad word about anybody. I've never seen him upset. Never. He was so gentle and so kind, and he's not a pedophile, not at all.
When
Okay,
did he
so
start
now
changing?
Steph,
Like when you started seeing him lightening his skin and doing stuff with his
I
skin?
think when he became bigger, and I'll in entertainment.
When did he start changing? Like when you started.
Never said a bad word about anybody. I've never seen him upset.
Mhm.
Never. He was so gentle and so kind, and he's not a pedophile, not at all.
When did he start changing? Like
he's not a pedophile, not at all. And I'll leave that right there. And I would like for you to give your thoughts on that right there. This woman said that she known him since they was young. She said she rocked out all this time. She don't have no reason to sugarcoat nothing. She don't have no reason to cover up anything. And her last words to Mike on his Breakfast Club was, he was not a pedophile. What does she have to gain from that? She knows that everybody's going to be looking at her like, oh, look at her. Why he was not a pedophile. Why is she saying that so strongly? Because, like the topic says, Stephanie Mills teaches on how to support your black man. It's no, I don't know. There's no fixing here. There's no, I ain't know. It was none of that is set there firm, and it's not like they was practicing this. You can tell that this is all freestyle. It's natural, and this is what she said at the very end of that man. And she said, she was dealing with him when he was black. He switched up, and that was that. But she didn't switch up on him because he switched up. That's how we support black men. Don't switch up on them. So now we're going to go into Lisa Marie Presley. This woman, Lisa Marie Presley. I'm not, I'm not no Elvis Presley fan. I'm not no Lisa Marie fan. I'm not into a lot of Caucasian music, although I do like. I did like Tell It Dane, Tell It to My Heart. That song, I like that song. I did like Lisa Stanfield, Been Around the World, and I did like that song. I did like McDonald, the dude with the beard. Boom, 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 boom. The dude with the beard who got the deep voice, who did the song with all alone, whatever her name is. Oh my God, Grandmama, the moms of everybody. Miss Glamour, what's her name? Come on, Patti LaBelle, yeah. The Michael McDonald's, whatever his name is. I like a lot of white people's songs now. I like a lot of white people's music. I like Hall and Oates. I kind of want to hear that song. I like Hall and Oates, you know what I'm saying? I like a lot of music. Now, don't get nothing. Paul Simon, feel me? But I wasn't into no Elvis Presley. It was before my time. I actually sat back and watched some of Elvis movies. You know, I watched a lot of his cowboy movies, to be honest. I said, oh shit, he was a good actor. Wow. So it's like what happens with us is that, you know, there's a lot of hate, like I said, that flows. So the hate that flows messes us up with the visual that we see and the things that we actually embrace. So once we have a whole bunch of hate that's in our mind and our hearts, then we start tuning off stuff. But so I didn't know nothing about, you know, Elvis Presley. I mean, we seen his daughter, we watch her, we seen in the back burner. I wasn't a fan, but I know a lot of people, they watched her grow. And then you hear the story. You hear her story. Michael was older than her. So once I heard that little jump, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But Mike was definitely older than her. I'm trying to find the right story. So let's get into it. Hope I have it up. Please say you have it up. Yeah, let's get into this right here. Michael had her by at least like 15 to 18 years or so. I don't know. Let's see how old she was. She was in her 50s. How old was let's see real quick. I should have that up too. How old was Lisa Marie Presley? She's 54, okay? How old was Michael Jackson when he died?
50. According to History.com, on June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson, one of the most commercially successful entertainers in history, dies at the age of 50 at his home in Los Angeles, California, after suffering from cardiac arrest caused by a fatal combination of drugs given.
Okay, damn, you talk too much. All right, so he was 50 in 09, so 13, so he'd been 63, and she died at 54, so he had about, what, 11 years or so? 54, 63. Yeah, he had about like 11 years. That's not that bad. All right, so he had about 11, 12 years, okay? And like he said, you know, he's an icon, she's an icon, she's a daughter, she's not an icon, but she's a daughter of an icon. So she got major special privileges. She wanted to go to Michael Jackson, so that's the done deal. She's in the back, she rocks. She has special privileges. So her being a fan of Mike, you know, when she was younger, and just being a fan of Mike when she was younger, just like everybody else across the entire planet was a fan of Mike. And Mike, you know, just loving life and being as young in his head as, yo, I want to know what type, did he have any type of mental health issues? Or you know, I mean, like when we say mental health issues, I ain't talking about like on some cuckoo, but just like, you know, did he have, like, was he like a mental health case that we didn't take in, that we didn't really embrace, that we just said, yeah, hey, spin on your heels, Mike, do a moonwalk, Mike, sing it, Mike, and really not taking, do we have mental health issues? Because it seemed like he was trapped in a child's mind. So that itself is a mental health issue. And so, but you know, he's trapped in a child's mind. And if you pay attention to Stephanie Mills, she said that she didn't really have a life until she was in her 40s. So realistically, she too was probably moving through life as a child. What do I mean by like a child? I mean that everybody doing for her level of responsibility of like really doing for herself didn't probably come into her later years. She probably was like, oh, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when it came to her being like 25, 27, I want to know how like promiscuous was she, you know what I'm saying? 30s, was she really, she probably like, oh, I don't know about that. You know, she probably was like not as about it like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or a Foxy Brown or a Lil' Kim. I throw the D in the mouth and swallow. She probably wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was talking about like putting soda cans in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was that woman in her 20s was talking about riding the the surfboard. You understand what I'm saying? If you was to take her lyrics in her 20s and you take all these other women's lyrics in their 20s, I think that you would look at her and be like, yeah, she was like a little childish. And she was more it's a word I'm trying to get, but it's not gonna come on the live right now because I didn't write it down. But she was more introvert, although she said she was more the aggressor when it came to Mike. But Mike himself, he's had the little boy in the mind. So of course she was more the aggressor, especially the fact that every woman in the world wanted him, and she's right here, this dark-skinned woman who's only 4'11" from the South, and she got him. She definitely had a certain level of high, self-esteem when it came to that. But yet still, she wasn't on the level of a Megan Thee Stallion. I'll just say all that because I want you to understand that when you're in the industry, and you're in the industry at a young age, it's very much hard to grow up and really, truly, truly mature if you always on the go, on the run, around money, around power, and everyone doing everything for you. It becomes kind of hard for you to really have a certain level of maturity, that certain level of maturity, that adult maturity. You might have the young kid maturity, but now we're gonna go to this ain't the interview I really wanted. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I want the one with Oprah. Maybe this is the one. Let's see. Let me see if this is the one. I wanted the interview with Oprah.
Today, all new. Oprah on location in England.
You've not spoken about Michael Jackson since his death.
Yeah, see, this is the one afterwards. Okay, this is the interview afterwards. Oprah is so no good, folks. Oprah is so no good. But this is the interview afterwards. I want the interview with her, Michael Jackson, and Lisa Marie. I'm trying to find that one, and for some reason I can't find it. Let me try and find that real quick. But in the meantime, let me put this interview up real quick. In the meantime, while I go look for something, I'm gonna put this interview up for you, okay, folks, and let you still listen to this. So I have it up already. As I look for the next interview, I'm gonna let you listen to this. I don't even know where I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna let it rock out. You feel me? I'm gonna let it rock out.
For 3 decades, the music, the dance, the king of pop,
What is this?
$1 entertainer.
Like when you started seeing him lightning this.
I got so many things open right now. Remove you. Eat it. Stop showing screen. Bam. Presentation. Show screen. I remember back when I was suck. I'm still sucky, but I remember I was sucky suck. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I can move through a little bit fast, which I'm kind of happy. Okay. Like I said, I'm looking for one interview, but I can't find it, but we're going to rock out.
And then, at the height of his success, came the charges, the police investigation, and a superstar, shaken, goes into hiding. Tonight, Michael Jackson, the interview we've been waiting for, live. And for the first time, the woman he married Two legendary families united. Home videos of the wedding that startled the world. Lisa Marie Presley, Michael Jackson, center stage and on the record.
Michael Jackson is serious business. Ask anyone in this town. Ask the people at Sony Music who say his next album and videos alone could bring in close to $1 billion worldwide. So it's not hard to understand why the shockwave of those allegations 2 years ago registered like the last earthquake out here. Why everyone wants to know, is he really on his way back? This is the old MGM set at Sony Pictures where all those dreams were put on film. Seemed like a good place to begin this hour, because whatever you
Edition, Michael with the boy felt radically changed. We sat down a week and a half ago to talk only about music. We looked at the Ed Sullivan Show, 1970. He remembers exactly what he was thinking.
That the whole world was like watching. My father used to always say, don't mess up, you know, and I felt I knew every part. And if something went wrong, I felt I could cover it.
But by adolescence, a private price was being paid. He said it was agony when people stared, clearly wishing that he was still that cute little boy. At the time, his mother worried that he was withdrawing.
Michael was quiet now. When he was younger, he wasn't that quiet. But I don't know, I think the stage might have done that to him.
Being around everyday people and stuff, I feel strange. I do.
Sure?
Yeah.
1979, 2020. He told Sylvia Chase people won't let him be just normal.
They won't talk to me like they will. The next door neighbor.
Do you hear what he said? They won't talk to me like they would do the next door neighbor. I just want to be normal. I just want to fit in. I just want to have a regular life. And so sometimes you need someone that understands you. And so that came from this woman. And at that time, when I was young, in 1995, I was young. I was sitting there like, yo, man, dad, yo, why he couldn't find a black woman? Why he couldn't marry a black woman? I was saying that to, yo, like going crazy, like, yo, man, it's crazy, yo. How did this happen? Where'd she come from? What the fuck you mean where'd she come from? Dude, you don't know nothing about their lives. In 365 days, do you know what he can do in 365 days? And what they can do? They rich. They not on the block like you. You know what I'm saying? They not in Queens like you. They not in New York like you. They all over the place. You don't know their lives. You don't know how they moving. You don't know the events that they go to. So for most of us people that was sitting back watching, we were just talking from a perspective of like our opinions. And like I say, that's what made me really do this, because I saw this interview, and when she passed away, and I was like, maybe she did. Maybe I was judging. Maybe she did like him. Maybe she did like him. Maybe she did love him. I don't know. So I had to keep watching. That's what made me do this video right here, because I'm trying to figure out, did she actually really have his back? And I looked at this video at this age I am right now, and I looked at the video and I see something in her. I saw a hood chick, to be honest. I saw a hood chick in the eyes, like, yo, and the woman eyes says, it said, B, won't you mind your business? That's what I saw. It said, she just looked like a regular chick from Delaware, or a regular chick from Philly who's into the interracial relationship, and you can't tell her nothing. She grew up around black people. She listened to black people music. She liked black people, and you can't tell her nothing. I just saw that this year. I didn't see it in 1995. And through that whole time, I didn't pay attention. But this year, I saw it. And I want you to see in her eyes and tell me, am I seeing something that I'm not really seeing? Because we can't say she was trying to get his money. It's not about her being a Jezebel to get his fame. So if it wasn't about getting this man's money, and if it wasn't about being a Jezebel to get his fame, what the hell was it? And did we destroy that?
But somehow Jackson used isolation to sharpen his sense of what was exotic and new. By 1983, the 25th anniversary of Motown, another Michael Jackson emerged, his own creation, from the music to the muscle to the magic. It was a triumph. He still sees only what he missed.
So I wanted to do the 5 spins and go on the toes and freeze there and just hold it and stay there, you know, and I didn't, but they didn't know it.
It's the devil's bargain, a perfectionist trying to give the audience more, a chameleon whose changes are more and more extreme,
I'm gonna take this down.
making you wonder if it's
Enjoy
all
the
still
video
part
while
of
you
his
can right now,
plan or
folks,
like
'cause
South, his
I'm gonna
prison.
rock out.
Because even today, Jackson obsesses over every word, every move,
Can you
every
hear
sound.
it?
Listen.
Do it sound crazy?
What you're hearing is not an electric drum machine. It's a hardwired, 48-track digitally mastered human.
You know what I mean? So I'll take that and use that as the main foundation for the track and build all the sounds around that. You know what I'm saying?
So whatever the future, the music will always be inside the man who says soon he'll be back, where he's most at home.
Are you really anxious to get back on stage? I miss the fans. Yeah, that's my chance to get to really, you know, see them and feel their presence. When you do a concert and it's like 100,000 people out there, and you see a sea of people singing all in unison, holding up candles, and go, wow.
Are you just going to burn down your career?
So now let's say all his life he's just seeing sea of people and candles and all this stuff, and not really seeing love.
Parents are warning it's an adult topic. This was the allegation. A 12-year-old boy said that over a period of 4 months, while repeatedly sleeping alone in the same bed with Michael Jackson, there was kissing, then fondling. The boy said he had protested, but Jackson had wept, saying it was all right, other boys had done it with him. That was the allegation. But for the prosecution, there were problems. The boy had spoken at the urging of his father, who was also seeking custody. And the father had talked to the Jackson camp about money, $20 million, according to the Jackson team. This is that father talking to someone he knew on tape.
If I go through with this, I win big time. There's no way that I lose.
But whatever the circumstances of the disclosure, authorities say they believed the boy's story. The investigation of Michael Jackson was set in motion and within days hit the airwaves.
Tonight, a police investigation into allegations that Michael Jackson sexually abused a young boy.
Now, I'm letting all this rock out for a reason, because I'm setting the stage up. Okay? I'm setting the stage up. The newspaper, the headlines, the media. Just imagine social media at this time. Oh my God. Michael would have died at the age of 40. Michael would have killed himself at the age of 40 if we had social media. How many people think Michael Jackson would have committed suicide if they had social media in the 90s? If we had the social media that we have in right now, if they had it back then, how many people think that Mike would have offed himself? Especially during this time. All the memes, or just okay? Well, I say that because during this time, What black woman would have married him? Who would have genuinely had love him and say, yo, you know what? I got your back. I would like to know that story. I would like to know the story. I would like to know the book of the woman who always loved Mike and has baby and did anything for him during this time. I ain't talking about when he was up. I'm talking about at this time. Because isn't this around the time that she came out of nowhere? I'm getting there. I'm getting there, folks. I'm getting there.
Star Michael Jackson under investigation for alleged child abuse.
It was a tabloid feeding frenzy as people who worked for Jackson shopped stories, all claiming titillating knowledge of what they called his special friends. And even when some of Jackson's young friends tried to defend him, they raised other troubling questions. This an 11-year-old boy, Red Barnes, talking to a TV interviewer.
When you'd have sleepovers and you'd stay in the same room or the same bed, did that seem unusual to you at all?
No, because I slept on one side of the bed, he slept on the other, and that was that.
After several months of headlines, Jackson, on tour and then reportedly in treatment for addiction to painkillers, returned to the United States and submitted to a series of police photographs. Sources say to see if they matched his accuser's description of identifying marks on what authorities called his private parts. December 22nd, Jackson went public.
Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. I have been forced to submit to a dehumanizing and humiliating examination by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff Department and the Los Angeles Police Department earlier this week. They served a search warrant on me which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted to.
1 month later, January 25th, 1994, Michael Jackson settled the civil suit filed by his young accuser. How much? Reportedly in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million. After the settlement, the boy refused to testify in the criminal case, so after 13 months of headlines, the prosecutors said it was over.
We must decline prosecution involving Mr. Jackson.
At this point, who was standing up by his side? What black actors, what black actresses, who was really standing out there by his side, standing like a Trump supporter with Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying? With this January 6th shit. Who was standing by his side unconditionally? Who wasn't agreeing with the jokes? Who wasn't listening to Chris Tucker, Chris Rock? You know what I'm saying? Who wasn't laughing at the Eddie Griffin jokes? Who wasn't laughing? Who was like, nah, this ain't funny? Who's out there? How many of us was like, oh, Mike is done. Oh, he did it. And I'm saying this because, like I say, who came out of nowhere? I remember being locked up, and I'm sitting in the day right, you go and see the judge, and you sitting there, and you speaking to the legal aid, and she's telling you all this stuff. And you looking at her like, yo, how are you gonna get me out of here? What do I got to say? Oh, so I got plead guilty to disorderly conduct. I really got plead guilty to disorderly. Yo, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And you tight. And everybody know that you tight. Everybody's up in the cell. Listen to everyone's conversation. And everybody in the cell in the bullpen is a lawyer for each and every one of us. And they like, yo, son, if you want to get out of here, you want to go home, man. This man, take that, man. I understand this is the group conversation. Yo, man, look, if you want to get up out of here, your shit is bullshit, man. We know that. So if you want to get up out of here, man, just take that. Take that bullshit, yo. At least you go home. At least you go home. You ain't got to deal with this no more. But yo, I ain't do it. Yo, you want in here or you want to get out? And you sitting there. And you sitting there, and then they call your name, and then everybody say, "Yo, son, you getting out, man? Yo, man, just take that shit, man. You just get the fuck out of here. Don't even come back, man. Don't come down here. I don't want to see your face. Take that plea." And you sitting there before the judge, you sitting there looking at this little wicked ass DA, and they talking all this talk, and then you looking at your lawyer, and your lawyer looking at you, and she's hoping that you just don't mess this up. And she's like, I got you the offer. No, you ain't get me off. You didn't fight for me. You didn't do what you had to do. You just negotiated something for me. And I'm not cool with that negotiation. But yo, I got to get the out of here. And so you say, you know what? Yeah, yep, I did it. And the judge is saying, da 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 da. He said, yes, da 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 da. Yes. And then, okay, you ACD, you get out. Like, oh, God. And they give you this, and they say you can't get in trouble. A certain amount of time you walk out. Now, when you a rich person, you don't know nothing except for checks, and you just see how everybody else handle things, and your legal advisors are not no real deal people. They like, man, you just gonna have to settle this, man. And so you just do whatever you gotta do to settle it, to get it out the way. And that's what we did, and with no real advice, no real support. Remember, he ran to Al Sharpton. He went to Nan at this time. He was up in Harlem. He ran to Al Sharpton, folks. Yeah. And the end result was no one really had his back because he was looking white-skinned. Now, if Michael Jackson still had the little curly Jerry curl and he still had his brown complexion, they would have defended him to the he didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it. But because he was white skinned and red lips, everyone said, yo, Mike did it. You understand how people discriminated against him? He had white skin. And I actually have whatever that shit is, Vertilogo. I've been struggling with that myself. I remember when I first seen it. It was a little spot. I had a spot on my back, spot on my face. It's just traumatizing. Like, yo, what the heck? But a person like me, I just deal with it like, oh well, fuck it. But a legend like he's like, oh my God, look at my skin. What do I do? And so what he did whatever what they told him to do, and he lightened the shit up, made it all one complexion, then just kept going with it. And then what happened? When you do something like that, when you undergo certain type of surgeries and certain type of situations, you get put on medication. That's one beautiful thing. I'm so grateful. I'm lying. I actually had an addiction to aspirin when I was little. When I was younger, I used to take a lot of aspirin because I used to get tremendous amounts of headaches. That's why I'm not a pill popper, because I used to take aspirin so much. I used to just take aspirin. Migraine, aspirin. Can't get me to do that shit. I gotta be really, really in pain now for me to freaking take a pill. But this is what they prescribe, and this is what they tell you to do when you get on this shit. I'm saying this because how many people were sticking by him? See, it's going back. It keeps going right back to that. Where the hell did this woman come from? Where did she just fly from? Where did she come from? I'm just trying to paint the picture, folks. Trying to get us all on one accord. We talked about Stephanie. We talked about the black love. She was there. She knew him since they was young. She had love for him. But she said, yo, but she said that was Mike when he was brown skinned. But you know, when he lightened up his skin, you know, I told him I didn't like it, and I whispered in his ear, I got the video of that too. That's the video I'm trying to pull up. I'm just doing too much talking. I'm trying to pull that video. You can, when she even whispered in his ear. I got that footage as well. And she said she whispered in his ear. And she let him know about himself. And she said he didn't really like that, too tough. So their bridges was cut. She didn't accept Mike for who Mike was, and so Mike was like, he's looking for people who can accept him for who he is. And for some reason, we, the melanated folks, it's hard for us to really accept without the extreme major judgment. That's in all races, yo. I swear, that's in every race. But for some reason with us, I don't believe that we really should be in that position to really be that wicked and evil that way. I'm not saying go around and accept everything. Heck no. Because I'm not the one to accept the rainbow flag. I'm sorry. Because I know the agenda and I know it's not going to be good for me down the road. But in regards to hearing the person's story, and then you want to paint your own narrative and say, no, that's not the case. You just want it to be white. I don't really think that was the case, man. But the sad thing about it is being young at the time, you start believing, you start going with the narrative, and you try not to go with the narrative. You want to stay on your own, but you know what I'm saying? You just say, I guess, or maybe. But who was the people saying no? Like she said, was he a pedophile? No, he wasn't a pedophile. No, he didn't do that. And staying strong. And that's what we have to be as Black folks. We have to be a little bit more strong when it comes to this giving love to one another. So Lisa Marie comes out of nowhere. Okay, that's where we're going now.
They had no other children who would come forward in court, and none of the employees who claimed to have seen questionable things had a story that could be confirmed by a child.
For the line crew and the go-getters, there's Granger, supplies and solutions.
To this day, a number of investigators remain convinced that glamour and money are so attractive they can produce loyalty and silence, while Jackson's team insists that it ended because nothing happened in the first place.
And with me, of course, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. Welcome to Primetime. Glad you're here. It occurs to me, looking at the two of you, I have got to start by asking how this marriage took place, how it began. Let me guess that it was not over miniature golf and a hot dog someplace. When did it start? When was the dating?
Well, we first met, she was 7 years old and I was 17. This was in Las Vegas. She used to come and see my show all the time.
That was like, whoa, huh? Feel me? That was like, whoa. She was 7, I was 17. She used to always come to my shows, backstage. I knew who she was. Rock out.
We had the only family show on the strip. It's the Jackson 5. And she used to come as a little girl and sit right up front. She came quite often. She came with a lot of bodyguards. And
had you stayed in touch over all these years?
Sure. And then she'd come backstage and I'd talk and say hi, and she'd come again. And I thought she was sweet and loving, and I always hoped I'd see her again.
And who first talked about marriage?
We didn't stay in touch.
We didn't stay in touch after that, no.
He go ahead. You want to say?
Yo, pay attention to look, folks, man. Pay attention to her demeanor. Pay attention. I don't know if this was like so rehearsed or what. But I had to watch it a couple times to really watch this woman's demeanor before I did this live. Okay, I wanted to watch this to make sure that when I spoke, I really spoke from a genuine place and not just from a assumption. I had to look at her body language. I had to look at her eyes. I had to look at her how she interacted with Mike. And I'm looking at Mike and seeing how he interacted with Diane Sawyer. So I'm watching the whole interaction. And she came back and said something very important. She was like, yo, we did not keep in contact like that. So don't think that Mike was keeping contact with some 7-year-old kid. That's what I heard. I said, oh, okay. She defended him right there. When I probably watched it way back then, in 1995, 1995, I was about like, I was in my teens. I wasn't a kid. I was in my teens. So I was listening, watching it, what I'm saying? But like I said, at this time, I was watching it with a different type of ear. Let me tell you something. At this time, I had came across Illuminati in 1994. So when I was listening and watching this, I was listening and watching this with a young Illuminati mind. Fresh. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I was looking at this like, yo, I was complaining about everything. I just didn't see, I wasn't seeing things just 100% clearly because I was like, nah, man. Illuminati. I mean, this was in the 90s. I was really fresh with it. I was looking at every entertainment, looking at everything from a third eye point of view. So, like I said, I wasn't able to watch the interview just neutral. I'm sitting here looking at it now, and I want y'all to watch it together with me and just watch this woman's energy and tell me if this was staged. Tell me if you think that they rehearsed this. Tell me if you think that she really had his back, because I really kind of truly believe that she had his back at this time. And it was because of these interviews and just the whole thing that kind of led her to go astray. But if they could have just remained out the spotlight, if Mike wasn't going through this, I wonder what would have happened. If Mike wasn't going through this whole pedophilia thing, this whole situation, I truly wonder what would have happened. And now also, remember, she was young. She was 7. She loved Mike when Mike was brown. She had a love for the Jackson 5 when they was brown, wide nose and all. So it's not like this was the Mike that she always. She was infatuated with the old Mike. So as the old Mike transcended to the new Mike, unlike Stephanie Mills, who didn't like the new Mike, she seemed to have liked him and loved him unconditionally because she genuinely just had a love for Michael Jackson. And that's what I'm gathering from these interviews. That's just me. Now, I could be bugging out, but I'm just trying to salute the woman because we always bury people without having a true knowledge of who these people are. We just have an assumption of what it is because we always just looking at things through a racial eye. And I always say, black man rise, original rebel, period. But yet and still, I don't want people to think that I'm an evil, hateful person. No. I don't want people to think I'm, just some racist, evil bastard. No. I believe in my lane. I believe in my people. I believe that we need to rise up above all. I believe that. But I also believe that I'm going to say like this, as we rising up, I know there's people in the world that's choosing sides because they're going to choose a side no matter what. And we have to be able to embrace as they're choosing their sides, as opposed to say, no, you can't be part of the side. To be honest, we don't need to have everybody in our lane and part of our side, but we have to know how to embrace when it's meant to be. Let's get back to this interview. Like I said, this interview was very touching when you watch it as an adult. How many people seen this interview when they was younger? when they was in their teens. You know what I'm saying? College, teens, you know what I'm saying? Young parent. I mean, how many seen this interview and remember this interview and now watch it again now that she passed away and really could say, have a different type of judgment? What judgment you have right now at this point? Watch the interview.
What happened?
No,
What
you
did
can
they tell
say,
you?
'cause you have a good memory.
No, you said you were going to say. Our first argument later on.
Okay, so that right there, she said, "No, you said that you was gonna say." So they definitely had they definitely corroborated their conversation. Going back to what I'm saying, when I'm watching the interview back then, I was saying to myself, like, is this shit staged? What y'all think? You think she naturally loved him? You think it was a stage? What the hell you think? But I'm just want to know. Let me go back. Let me go right back here. Let me check something out before I go back to the interview. Hold on. Let me ask this question. I should know. When did Michael Jackson marry Lisa Marie?
May 26, 1994. According to Wikipedia, on May 26, 1994, 20 days after her divorce from Keo, Presley married singer Michael Jackson. Keo's younger brother Thomas Keo was an official witness at Presley's wedding to Michael Jackson. They had first met in 1975 when a 7-year-old Presley attended several of his concerts in Las Vegas.
So 20 years later. So when I say, where did she come from? What the hell do you mean where she come from? She came from backstage, dog. What do you mean where she come from? She been a fan since he had an afro. What do you mean where she come from? Just like every single little white child that was watching Michael Jackson, you seen him fainting from here to Australia. What you mean where she come from? Before she was his wife, she was always a fan. And once I digest that, I was like, okay, so before anything, she was a fan, and she was a younger woman, so she had respect because he's older, and he's black. He's a black man, and so she actually was like, yo, I got Michael Jackson, the man who I had a crush on when I was a little child. I'm with Michael Jackson. The same energy Stephanie Mills had when Stephanie Mills was a younger woman. She's like, yo, every woman in the world want Michael Jackson, and I'm sleeping in this boy's house. So these two women are actually in this live I'm doing right now. I'm showing you right now how to love or how to support a black man. You don't give up on him. You do not give up on him. So that was what day that say? Let's say May 26, 1994, they got married. All the way up for almost 2 years they was married. Was it staged? That's what we're trying to figure out. Was it a staged marriage? They first met in 1975 when she was 7 years of age. Was it a staged marriage? So now let's go and see, when did he settle? What year did Michael Jackson settle the $20 million with the lawsuit?
According to CNN,
What the heck? When did Michael Jackson settle the $20 million lawsuit? I keep pressing the button. I'm sorry, folks. I want us to hear it. What year did Michael Jackson settle his $20 million lawsuit?
according to CNN, Jackson's settlement from 1993 allegations topped $20 million.
Okay, so that's where we at. Okay. Can I get back to this? So 1993, he settled this. He settled that case. He gave the family $20 some million. You wasn't supposed to be kissing my boy. I just kissed him on the cheek. I don't want my boy kissing you. Okay, what you want me to do? It could have been any little thing that we did. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know how the whole white men whose testosterone up, them strong white men. I don't want my boy growing up fruity, putting the pressure. And at the very end, it was really nothing that was really done except for Mike probably gave him a kiss on the cheek or gave him a kiss on the forehead, or, before they went to bed. Stupid shit. No, when I say stupid, I'm like, yo, that was stupid. But the stupid shit, and he probably did that on the regular basis, and that was the cause of the lawsuit because, like, yo, oh Lord, I kissed the boy, and it goes in tabloids, and it's gonna be bad. Because there's no way, the man's dead. There's no way in life that right now that same father, if he's still alive, with that boy, if he's alive, cannot and would not come out and tell the truth. Like, yo, yeah, he touched my ass. Yeah, he had sex with me. Yes, he did this. Yes, but if we didn't hear that, was it really all about the money? But my point is, 1 year later, he's marrying this woman. Was it staged? And that's what I was thinking back then. I was like, oh man, this is staged because they just try and paint the picture like Michael's not gay, Michael's not a pedophile. So, you know what I'm saying? This is what I was saying. Or they trying to just have him marrying this girl so they can protect her? How many people was in that feeling?
This hour. Who proposed? I mean, how did marriage actually get discussed?
Well, at first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. He'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back and say, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces. And then, because I felt that was supposed to be me. I really did.
And what was the countdown to your marriage? Tell me who said the word marriage
I did.
first?
He did.
When? Where?
On the telephone.
Oh, yeah, on the telephone.
He first asked me.
When?
We were dating now for 4 months. Right? 4 months?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, we were spending a lot of time together. I don't know how I managed to get in the press because we weren't hiding it. I was in Las Vegas. We were in Neverland. We were everywhere. I went to Atlanta. We were in bookstores. We were not hiding it.
And you said yes right away?
I was separated for 4 months, and he said, what would you do if I asked you to marry me? And I said, I would.
Big I would, though. You were really enthusiastic.
I have to ask you this because I can only imagine the number of lawyers involved in a prenuptial agreement between these two fortunes. Is there one? A careful one?
Well, we worked out things and we've signed certain things. But of course, that's very confidential.
We agreed. We made agreements prior, yes.
As you know, the reaction to this marriage, and I know you feel strongly about it, but the reaction to this marriage has been across the spectrum, everything from astonishment to delight to suspicion that it was somehow too convenient. Lisa, did you ask Michael about the charges? Did the two of you talk about the impact of the marriage on the allegations?
Absolutely not. He called. I was in touch with him through the whole process of this charges going on. I was talking to him when he disappeared. I was actually supposed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico when he left and disappeared, and I got a call that he wasn't going to be there, and I was actually part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't
say to him, are they true?
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
Wow. Okay, now it's like I have to listen, and sometimes I don't comprehend. I hear, but I want to hear it in 100%. Like I say, looking at her actions, She asked him. She asked her, "Did you ask him? Was it real? Was it true?" And she's like, "Absolutely not." And that itself was like real strong and powerful because it's like she's sitting there like, "Yo, I known this boy. I've been following this boy since I was a young kid. I know this man very well. I know him enough to know that that wasn't true. And for me to even ask him would be insulting. For me to be on the phone and say, "Hey Mike, did you do it?" That's like me having doubt, and I don't doubt him, so I'm not even gonna bother asking. That was powerful. And so going back to what the topic says, Lisa and Steph teaches on how to support your black man. Don't doubt. Don't question him with doubt. Don't cause friction amongst y'all where now he has to sleep in the bed or she has to sleep in the bed with you and y'all sitting here like, yo, she don't believe me. When you can lay in the bed with your companion and in your mind, your heart, you know unconditionally that this person loved me and they got your back. You can go to sleep and know that they get out the bed and going in the kitchen, they're not going to come back with a knife to kill you. You can go to sleep and know that they're not going to put cyanide in your stuff. You can go to sleep because they don't have doubt. So the number one thing is no doubt. Okay? If you pay attention to what these two women said in their conversation, both of them came out strongly. Stephanie Mills said it and Lisa Presley said it. No. Stephanie Mills is asked, she wasn't really asked, but she just said, he ain't no pedophile. And then this woman says, no, I don't have to ask him because I know. Let's let her say it again. It was said very strong.
Part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't
say to him, "Are they true?"
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the marriage.
Sorry, he went on and on and on about it. So I didn't really have to say, "Are the allegations true?" It was, on the phone, and
over and over
just
again.
constant,
So you hear what she said? She's like, I didn't even have the question. He's talking about it himself, and I'm listening very intuitively. And if you look at her, you can tell she not no airhead. I don't really sense her being an airhead. And even as I watch this interview, I don't sense her as being a bozo, a bimbo, a dingbat, a dodo. None of the above. I don't really see it or sense it. I see her as actually being a somewhat serious. And I watched a lot of interviews. I'm like, she just seemed so serious. Even as she got older, it just seemed like her whole demeanor was just like an old soul. She had two children, young age. She was rich all her life. She was an old soul. She was really an old soul. You could just tell.
Well, because I know that you wanted to.
the allegations true. It was.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come.
So
I didn't say to him, "Are they true?"
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the marriage.
Sorry, he went on and on and on and on about it. So I didn't really have to say.
And I like how she comes back to to verify. Like hold on, let me get it correct now. Don't think I was just some dumb chick who's just going with the flow. I like how she, I like how she letting it be known. She confirmed like, don't think I'm just some dumb chick who's just going with the flow and just believe anything he say because that's Michael fucking Jackson. It's just the fact that he's going on and on about it and the way he's going about it. What I'm hearing it firsthand. So she's like, I'm hearing it firsthand. Look at the face she gives. She let it be known that he was talking about it in his black form.
Are the allegations true? It was, on the phone,
and
just constant, yeah.
Well, because I know that you've wanted to express similar sentiments for a long time, I want to ask a few things about the charges. But first, I want to establish for the viewers here, there are no ground rules. You have said to me you are not afraid of any questions. So I wanted that understood by everybody before we proceed. I think I want to begin by making sure that the terms are clear. You have said that you would never harm a child. I want to be specific as I can. Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
And what do you think should be done to someone who does that?
To someone who does that, what I think it should be done, gee, I think they need help in some kind of way, you know?
How about the police photographs, though?
He said, I think they need help. Was he like, even when he said this back then, I was saying, was you talking about yourself? You understand what I'm saying? It was like no real support. I gotta go back to that. What we need as men, especially as black men, is support. And we can't take that away from each other, y'all. And this man's dead. We will never know to this day, but there's no reason why no one has come out to this very day and say, yo, he did touch me. And I mean, I'm talking about like in a way like, yo, give me Netherlands. No, that ain't shutting down. That's mine. Like that's mine. Like no one's really come out on that level. It makes me question, like, yo, did we hang this man, or was he really a dirty dog, and he was just covered up by the world? But I kind of think we did lynch him. He lynched himself by, with the red lips and all this other crazy shit. But technically, we put the noose around him and just kept tightening, folks. We tightened the noose. They were trying to kill this man, even with the Pepsi commercial. That was no accident. They was trying to kill him. They was trying, and like even online, there's the cyber bullying that's online. They like someone was telling me there's cyber bullies online that's like suicide squads. They're trying to get you to commit suicide. Like just imagine social media was back then with suicide squads. Mike would definitely been gone. Mike wouldn't have made it to 50. And like I say, I'm into black love, but at this point right now, as I'm just watching this, she probably was what he needed at this time. I truly believe that if she wasn't in his life at this time, he probably would have sunk even more. Like he said that when she got married to that guy that she was married to, he said that it broke his heart. I truly wonder if Michael would have been her first. I wonder what would the whole situation have been. I wonder if this whole pedophile situation would have took place. If he had a woman, not even just her, but if he had a wife in his life, if he had a woman in his life, 4 years, this before he got married, 4 years, and if he was married for 4 years prior, if this would have took place. And that's why it's important for us to really stop cutting one another off so fast. Stick through it with each other, support each other, get through it with each other, because you don't know what type of outcomes you would save each other from. Damn, that makes so much sense. When you come into a person's life, you come into life for a reason. There's too many motherfucking people in the world for me to meet you. If I meet you and you meet me, is because it's a connection. Something has to happen. Stop going against these connections, folks, because these connections are there to save you from something. There to prevent something from happening. We are here we are each other's crutches. And once we can comprehend that, so much of our negative lifestyles wouldn't happen. So much of our negativity that happens in our lives will not happen, because we understand that we're here to save each other. That woman probably was in that man's life since day one. And because he didn't embrace it fast enough. She was younger, but he didn't embrace it fast enough. He's on the road. He's all over the place. He didn't get his chance to be saved. He probably had a few other black women like Stephanie Mills that probably could have saved him as well. But Stephanie said that, she didn't like the white company he was with. Stephanie said that Stephanie was as black as she could be. And I ain't talking about her skin tone. I'm just talking about on the inside. Her heart was black. Her veins were black. Her blood was black. She was black. Mike was music. And with Mike, music had no color. Black man rise, original rebel. We have to become, I don't want to say that, but we have to become, what's the word I'm looking for? We have to become non-divisional. Once we can take away all the different divisions that separates us, and then we could just be in one lane, those people who's not part of the lane, they will fall off and fall out, and they will be destroyed or get ran over. It's not about dividing before we get in the lane. Just let us get in the lane, and those who can't make the race, they will fall apart. And those who's in the race will get rid of those who's in the race. But don't get rid of us before we can even get in the lane, because you don't know who's supposed to be in the lane when you're trying to get rid of us because of division. Oh, he don't believe the earth is flat. Or he believe the earth is round. Or he don't believe in God. He believe in science. Or he don't believe in this. Oh, he don't like white people. Or he don't like black people. We gotta really just figure out how we're going to get this movement to move. And it's going to start off with one thing, that's unconditional support. What did this woman have to gain by coming on these talk shows to help this man get by from going to jail and going to prison, and by saying I'm his wife? No, he didn't do this. What does she have to gain? How much money did they pay her to be that woman, to say, no, we married, that don't take place, he's not gay, we having sex? But when you listen to the story is actually even more deeper. Honestly, if their story was on Maury Povich, if this story was on like a real show, like I'm not saying Maury's a real show, but like on these real shows today, these talk shows today of talking about relationship, this relationship situation was deep because Mike was older. Mike wanted to have a kid. She had 2 babies. She's fresh off having 2 babies and everything, blah, blah, bloom, boom, blam. Mike, like, he needs some babies. And if you watch the interview, if we can get through the interview, which I doubt if I'm really going to go through all the interviews that I have set up, I'm probably going to do a part 2, part 3, because I'm going to, this is a tribute to Lisa. I'm going to give her a tribute. And the reason why I'm going to give her a tribute is because, like I said, I didn't give her a pass back then. I was looking through the lens of Illuminati, but I'm watching this video again, and because she's dead at this young age, I'm going to give her a little salute until something proves it wrong and proves her that she was a demon. But what made her maybe have a dark soul and demonic soul is these interviews, is the pressure, is the hatred that she had amongst her people, her spars and stuff like that. Oh, how can you be with him? Why would you with Wacko Jacko? You lucky you have one of those Jacko babies. You know, all that stuff can really, especially a woman, can really start breaking her down and make her start questioning herself. You're gonna see on the Oprah Winfrey, the next one I'm gonna put up. I have that one. Like I said, there's an interview with her and Oprah and Michael, which was a great one. I'm trying to find it. So let me put this on and I'm gonna go search for it. Okay, folks? Let me put this on, I'm gonna go search for that. But the one with her and Oprah after she got rid of Michael, you can tell from there that everything really was affecting her. Everything did have its toll on her. And she finally broke. But I really think that she had this man's back. Let's definitely have his back to this day. I really believe that.
How is there enough information from this boy about those kinds of things?
The police photographs that they took of me,
Yes.
there was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm
Nothing?
sitting here
There was
talking to you
nothing.
today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect anything that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm sitting here
That's
talking to you
Watch
today. There was not one iota of information that was found. There was nothing
Watch
that
this
matched
deep
me
breath
to
she
those
takes.
charges.
It's genuine, yo. Study this
That's
shit.
why I'm sitting here
Look at this
talking
deep
to you
breath.
today. There was not one iota of information.
That deep breath, you can even hear it. That deep breath that woman took was like, yo, this shit is exhausting, man. Oh, like she want to break, she want to snap. You can see the hood in her. Where the hell she from? You can just see like she just wanted to break right there. She wanted to say, yo, she wanted to call her all sorts of bees. And that's why I got to pull up the Oprah one, because you can just tell she was looking at Oprah like, Oprah, you a bitch. But you can just see that this is really irking her. This ain't, like I said, what does she have to gain by sitting on this platform and showing this man right here? Okay, let me show you. What does she have to gain by being on this platform with this man at this face? When she was in love with, when she was watching him, he was brown man. Now he's invisible. What does she have to gain by sitting there taking this ridicule? And that's what I did. Like I said, I think even my sister back in the days, I think that she was a little bit in defense for her. I can't remember, you know what I'm saying? I think I was like the villain because, like I said, it was Illuminati too much in me. I wasn't the fan. I was like, yo, what's up with Mike, man? What's up? What are you doing? But like I said, it's something about her aura that says to me, nah, Negro, she really did have this man's back. Look at the side. The side was very powerful. The side really, really, really said a lot to me. The side said a whole lot to me. Peep the side, folks.
That they took of me.
Yes.
There was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm
Nothing?
sitting here
There was
talking to you
nothing.
today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've
to
heard
these
that there was
charges,
a marking
nothing.
of some kind.
No markings.
No markings.
No.
Why
am I still here then?
You're not asking me about that, are you? Sorry, about the markings.
You can volunteer.
No, I'm just, the point is that when that finally got concluded that there was no matchup, then it was printed this big as opposed to how big it was, what the matchup was supposed to be.
It didn't work.
It
isn't so.
There was no matchup.
Still here then.
You're not asking me about that, are you? Sorry.
She's the real chick, yo. She's sitting over there like, if you're going to ask anybody about the Marcus, ask me. I'm his wife. I'm looking at his body. You're not going to ask me about the Marcus? Did she have to catch? I'm sorry. She actually, I mean, like I said, I really looked at the interview back then through a eye of really like a different level. But right now, as I'm watching it, I'm trying to let y'all know that the way to help us is just to support us, man. Give the support. Give that support. Give that love, because that love give you that love gives you that next level fuel that you need so that you can get through your situations. It's nothing worse than going through a situation, you're going through it alone. That's one of the worst feelings. When you're going through your world, you're going through it alone. Shout out to everybody who's paying attention to this and viewing this. And if you didn't catch the live and you're going to watch it later on, and you became a view, I love you just as much as I love the person who's sitting there watching me with this live right now. And when I say thank you for your listening, your support, have a beautiful night. And that person who taps out, thank you for watching all the way through. But those who watch it later on and watch a day or two after, I love you the same. But that support is what's needed. Because trust me, I'm only live right now. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't want to go live. I never really wanted to go live. The only time I really wanted to go live was in 2020 at the beginning. I wanted to go live because I wanted to get this off my chest and tell the story. Now I've been going live. It's like I want to go live, then I don't want to go. I'll be about to go live and I just cancel it out and I put it to a different day and a different time, because it's like I'm going through something. I'm going through it alone, and it's like it's kind of annoying. It's kind of lonely. It's kind of disappointing. So whenever you can get a support, even if it's just from an animal, a dog, a cat, and they give you that support, they give you that love, that energy that you need, embrace it. And so, Mike, I'm not gonna lie, in the 90s, I know we turned on him. We had love for him. We didn't want nothing bad to happen, but we turned on him, and we turned our support down. We turned our support level down some notches. And so for this woman to come out of nowhere with her 2 children in her own world, her own career, remember her father died because of a conspiracy. And then for her to come out of nowhere and say, yo, I'm gonna sit in this hot seat with you, dog. I gotta scratch my head like, why the hell she do that? How much money did they give her? And if it was no money, and it was just absolutely because when she was that 7-year-old girl, she really had that crush and loved Michael Jackson, and to this day she got his back. I gotta slap myself for really thinking so negatively. What does she have to lose by sitting there?
About the markings.
You can volunteer.
No, the point is that when that finally got concluded that there was no matchup, then it was printed this big, as opposed to how big it was, what the matchup was supposed to be.
It didn't work. It isn't so. The whole thing is a lie.
Why did you settle the case? And it looks to everyone as if you paid a huge amount of money.
Most of that's
to get
false
silence.
silence. I talked to my lawyers and I said, can you guarantee me that justice will prevail? And they said, Michael, we cannot guarantee you that a judge or a jury will do anything. And with that, I was like catatonic. I was outraged.
How much money?
Totally outraged. So what I said, I have got to do something to get out from under this nightmare. All these lies and all these people coming forward to get paid and these tabloid shows, just lies. So what I did, we got together again with my advisors, and they advised me, it was hands down, a unanimous decision, resolve the case. This could be something that could go on for 7 years.
How much
We
money?
said, let's get it behind us.
Can you say how much?
It's not what the tabloids have printed. It's not all this crazy outlandish stuff. No, it's not at all. I mean, the terms of the agreement are very confidential.
I want to ask barred to discuss it.
The specific
terms.
So
it's specific amounts.
The idea is just isn't fair. What they put me through, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that. In any way, they turned my room upside down, went through all my books, all my videotapes, all my private things, and they found nothing that can say Michael Jackson did this. Nothing.
But let me ask you
to
a
this
couple
day,
of questions.
nothing. Still nothing.
Let me ask
nothing,
you
nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
As you may or may not know, we have called everyone we can call. We have checked everything we can check. We have gone and tried to see if what we heard before is in fact the case. I want to ask you about two things. These reports that we read over and over again, that in your rooms they found photographs of young boys, not of
young
adults,
boys,
not
there's children, all kind of girls and everything.
then that they found photographs, books of young boys who were undressed.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, not that I know of, unless people sent me things that I haven't opened. People know my love for children. So they send me books from all over the world, from South America, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden.
So if people say that they found those things, if there's an indication, let them come forward, let them produce them, right?
Yeah, because I get all you wouldn't believe the amounts of mail that I get. And if you say to somebody, if I let the fans know I love Charlie Chaplin, I'll be swarmed in Charlie Chaplin paraphernalia. But if I say I love children, which I do, they swarm me with everything pertaining to kids.
Any other settlements in process now or previously with children making these kinds of claims? We have heard that there is one, not a case that the prosecutors would bring in court, but that once again, you're talking about shelling out.
No, that's not true. No, it's not true. I think I've heard everything is fine and there are no others.
I guess let me ask this, and I'm trying to think how to phrase it though. I can hear out in the country people saying, and you've been cleared of all the charges, we want to make that clear. People saying, look, here's a man who is surrounded by things that children love. Here's a man who's spent an inordinate amount of time with these young boys.
That's right.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy or a series of them?
Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Well, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But since people want to hear it, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed ever. Children love me, I love them. They follow me, they want to be with me. But anybody can come in my bed. A child can come in my bed if they want.
I can say, sorry, I've seen this. I've seen it a lot. I've seen kids. I've seen him with children in the last year. I've seen it enough to where I can see how that can happen. It's, I understand.
Isn't part of being an adult, and you have a 2-year-old child, a 2-year-old boy.
Yeah, let me just.
Word,
okay. I just wanted to say that I've seen these children. They don't let him go to the bathroom without running in there with him, and they won't let him out of their sight. So when he jumps in the bed, I'm even out. They jump in the bed with him.
But isn't part of being an adult and loving children, keeping children from ambiguous situations? And again, we're talking about over an intense period of time here.
I'm going to say it again. What do she have to gain by standing right there and doing all that shit? Saying all that. What does she gain from that? If she wasn't being as truthful as she could be. What does she gain by lying, sitting right there and lying like that? She's Elvis Presley's daughter. She don't have to do shit. She's the only girl. We know we seen pictures of her when Elvis had her. That's all we remember seeing is pictures of her. Images of her, videos of her. What do she has to gain by defending this man, Michael Jackson? What does she have to gain by defending in 1995 a black man by the name of Michael Jackson, who's being charged with pedophilia and rape and all sorts of things? What does she have to gain by sitting there and taking this type of heat? It's just going back to the title, folks. Support. Natural support.
Would you let your son, when he grows up and is 12 years old, do that?
You know what? If I didn't know Michael, no way. But I happen to know who he is and what he is, and that makes it. I know that he's not. I know that he's not like that, and I know he has a thing for children. And go ahead. Sorry.
I just wonder, is it over? You're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. I think this is really one thing people want to know, that there are not going to be more of these sleepovers in which people have to wonder.
Nobody wonders when kids sleep over at my house.
But are they over? Are you going to watch out for it? now,
Watch out for
just
what?
for the sake of the children and for
No, because
everything
it's all moral and it's all pure. I don't even think that way. It's not what's in my heart.
So you'll
I would
do it
never,
again.
ever. Do what again?
I mean, you'll have a child.
Of course. They want.
Yes.
It's on the level of purity and love and just innocence, complete innocence. If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street because it's not Michael Jackson. It's not what I'm interested in.
Okay, Elizabeth Taylor, talk to us a little bit about what she saw when she went over and talked to you in the middle of this, what she called agony. One of the things she was so, I think she was so angry about with us was that she said people always talk about one side of a person, they never give them credit for their accomplishments, particularly what they give to children and the money you give to children. That's how it starts.
When he's on tour, he goes to hospitals without the press following it, without anyone knowing.
And you know what, folks? We had 2 hours on this right here. And we now got Elizabeth Taylor, another iconic white lady who was in the movie with Elvis Presley. I've seen that movie. It was a good movie. She was a good actress too. And she's sitting here. We all know she was Michael Jackson handler. And she too is defending him, showing support. Why? Did this man do it? Did he really touch these boys? Did he do it? Why are they covering up? Is she a pedophile too? This is the story, folks. We have 2 stories going on. Why are these people covering up? And then why are they showing such support? Is the support real natural love? Or is the support covering up something that's a deep cave? Years later, you have the Epstein scandal. You have the Pizzagate scandal. Was Michael part of it? How many folks, after watching this interview, really felt like, yo, Mike did do it? Mike was messing with those boys. She asked him, yo, when is it going to stop? He's like, is what going to stop? She said, you're going to still allow these boys to stay over? He's like, if these people to stay over, he's like, if they want to. If you talk about sex, there ain't no sex happening here. Do we believe him and her and Lisa Presley, or do we really think that this was all staged? Lisa was paid, a few $1 million. I mean, what Michael paid her $50 million, $40 million, $20 million to do this interview to make him look like a good guy? Where we at with it? Or is it just that they really have support? I'm gonna do a series, a part 2 on this right here, because there's another interview I want to get. There's 2 interviews I want to get to. I want to get to the Oprah. I've got to find the Oprah interview with her and Michael Jackson. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull that up after. I'm gonna let her rock out real quick. I'm gonna let Elizabeth rock out.
He'll get up in a disguise and do it. Take his disguise off when he's there, and kids know, wow, it's Michael Jackson.
Was there no point at which you said to yourself, reading everything everybody had been reading, maybe this is true. Maybe I completely didn't understand who he was.
No way. Absolutely not.
Never.
Never. I know Michael's heart. I know his mind and his soul. I'm not that insensitive, especially to him or people I love.
How did you decide to go to Singapore?
He was my friend. He was alone. He was totally alone. And he just he needed help. Nothing.
He's totally alone. He needed support. Black Man Rise, Original Rebel. We need shout out to all the Spanish, Caucasian, Indian, uh, whatever you come from, wherever your background. Shout out to you. But as I speak this, I'm speaking this to my lane. I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, we need to rise and show a little bit more support and love. And if we can have more love for one another, more genuine love than Elizabeth Taylor had for Michael, more genuine love than Lisa Presley had for Michael, if we can have that for ourselves, we'd be a great race. Hey, folks, part two coming up. Do I have some time? What time is it? It's still early. That's why I did. I wanted to do another video. I forgot I was going to do my next video. I forgot what that video is. This is a very interesting topic, though. See, nobody's really gonna rock this topic like me. You know why they not gonna rock this topic? Because they too much of a racist to really touch this topic. Many people don't want to touch this topic because we talk about this white lady by the name of Lisa Presley. And so they're gonna be like, "Oh, her father was a racist and all this other stuff." They going to say so much stuff that they're not gonna cover the story. But I cover the story because I see different angles of it. I see something great out the story. I'm sad that the lady died, and especially I know that the way she died was because of the pressure and all that other crazy stuff the industry put on us, the sacrificing of her son, the death of her son. I know all that was crazy, but I gotta give the respect when the respect is here because I didn't give it at the time when it was needed. And trust me, 20 years, 30 years ago, if we would have embraced these two as they were standing fighting, as opposed to going against it, Mike would still be around, and so would this woman, and Lisa would be too. How many people think that if Michael Jackson didn't die, Lisa Presley would? You think that Lisa Presley would be dead if Michael didn't die? How many people think that Michael's death has a little impact on her aging? Like I say, I'm gonna show you the interview. You can see in the interview. You can see from this interview her skin. You can see her face. You can see her. Like I said, she has an old soul, but you can just see that she still had her youth. A couple years later, you can just see that she aged like a fucking mummy. She just aged. The impact of that whole situation was really, really problematic. You can hear in her sigh. You can see that, and then she was so humble, like, yo. And I'm rocking with her right now because, like I said, I'm giving honor to her because she really held them down, and I didn't give them the respect at the time. I felt bad I didn't give them the respect at the time because I was looking through it through a negative eye. But like I said, and like they said, before Mike was the wacko jackal Mike that everybody want to claim that he was, she loved and respected when he had the afro, and you know what I'm saying, and it was on that other level. But right now I'm gonna pull up this Oprah Winfrey video. Do I have it? Of Michael Jackson and Oprah Winfrey. Because this is the reason why Oprah had nothing but hate for Mike. She didn't have a genuine support system for Mike. No, she didn't. Oprah Winfrey was like the original troll. She was the original troll. If trolling was out then, woo! Excuse me, folks. Like, I love this right here. Michael shows you how to. This is stupid. Yo, you know, it's so crazy because as I got older and I just sit back and look at the goofy, foolish things I do, little sound effects, noises. Everybody sit back and think about what's your go-to sound effect. That was Michael Jackson. What's your go-to sound effect? Because everybody have a sound effect. A word, something that they emphasize differently. You change your voice. You go high pitch. You go low pitch. You go bass. You know what I'm saying? What's that word that y'all use? You know what I'm saying? Or what's that little sound, that sound effect that makes you goofy? One thing that people fail to understand, that he was a black man who had a sense of humor. He just didn't look as you want him to look, but he had a huge sense of humor. You don't think so? I'll prove it. I have no problem proving it. I'm going to prove Michael Jackson's crazy sense of humor. And like Stephanie Mills said, she said, yo, he was a nigga. She said, she said on the Breakfast Club, Michael Jackson was a nigga. She was saying, and she's 62 saying that. She was basically saying, Mike was that dude. He had no problem of, being who he is. He just had lighter skin. Is there anybody who would like to talk on this topic? This ain't your average topic, huh? Y'all know me. I'll talk about rocks falling up the sky. Does anybody who would like to chop it up on this topic, please come on deck. It's a beautiful topic right here. I remember watching that the show when she was on American Idol, whatever that show was. I remember because my sisters and them, they watching. I remember I think I was walking out the house. So I walked in the house and I was looking at TV like, who that? And I was like, well, that's Elvis Presley daughter. And I said, it was like, that's Michael Jackson ex-wife. So I think I stood there to watch it. I watched that. I remember watching it. But like I said, I was still in my state, like, oh, that's Lisa Presley, or she's the one who married Michael Jackson, word. But I still wasn't looking at her as, she's the one who held him down. She was the one who gave him support during the time when he was going through hell. That's what she was, okay, folks? That's what she really was.
I'd have seen it. Wait. Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before, you know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only things ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. It didn't. We were here the last time shooting the commercial. You were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing the dance. You were up all night dancing. For instance, when we were here before, you know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only things ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. When we were here the last time shooting the commercial, you were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing the dance. You were up all night dancing. Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before, you know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only things ever.
Yo, y'all tell me that's not. Yo, y'all tell me that's not gangster right there. Y'all tell me that's not hood right there. You telling me that's not being a real nigga right there on Oprah Winfrey show, and you said, yo, he already went to the show. He already had in his mind that, yo, I'm not answering nothing that's gonna make me feel uncomfortable. I'm just gonna black it out. and this is his way of handling the interview. This is a classic. But what happened was people crapped on him. They shitted on him with this whole situation. Like like it was something wacko, something crazy about him. That he was on Oprah. So what? He's on Oprah. So what the shit? He didn't care. And he showed her how to be in control. This pissed her off, folks. This interview right here really, really pissed her off, folks. And so this interview made her really say, you know what? I ain't messing with Mike. Next time I get him, or next time I have somebody who can talk about him, I'm gonna go in. And she had Lisa Presley on her show several times. This is how you ignore Oprah Winfrey.
Been true when they said I couldn't dance.
It
When we were
doesn't.
here, when you are, for instance, when we were here before, yeah, and when you are, for instance, when we were here before.
All right. Who got a few lyrics for this right here?
You know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the
Give me the beat,
tabloid, the only
ready?
things ever been true when they said I couldn't dance.
It
When we were
doesn't
here
seem
before.
that.
Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were
Who
here
got some lyrics for
before.
this beat?
You know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only things ever been.
I mean, at this point, why is she acting like Mike? So who taught you how to beatbox like that? How long have you been beatboxing? You know, I mean, see, oh man, I mean, ladies, I love y'all, but don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say. Don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say. She's so determined. This is the friction. This is how we have friction, because we don't know how to conduct a conversation when the conversation is not going our way. We don't know how to conduct it. So she didn't. I'm pretty sure, like, if it was another person up there who was interviewing this, they wouldn't have went battling back and forth with him. This was she decided to go back and she tried to battle him to force him to converse to her. And so now they went their pitch went higher and higher and higher and higher. That's the battle. That's the unblack love. That's the Oprah Winfrey shit. But if she was smart and sexy with it and smooth with it and sincere with it, she would have said, well, Mike, I didn't know you can beatbox. Do the people know that you can beatbox? Do you have why don't you just make a beatbox beat? Why don't she just acknowledge him on that to get him to start talking again, so that she can now go back into a conversation? She should acknowledge what he was doing to shut that down. But what she want to do is try and force him to converse and answer her questions. And that's the problem. That's not the support system. That's the debate. That's the debate. Like I said, she's the troll of the century. And so she tried to troll him, and he says, no, I'm in control. He says, I'm over Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson's the only one that had that type of control over me. Joe Jackson was the only one that had that type of control over that Jackson family. Once Janet said, yo, I'm out, I'm in control, she was in control. Michael let her know, like, you can't control me and make me answer your questions. And so this is what he gave her. He gave her the Biz Markie. Wouldn't it have been awesome to see Michael Jackson, Biz Markie, and the Fat Boys do something together? That would have been a classic. Michael Jackson, Biz Markie, and the Fat Boys. To this day, that would have been a classic. But like Stephanie Mills said in the industry, she said it's hard to have friends because everyone's pretty much against each other. They put everyone against each other. And it just gotten worse in the 90s with the hip hop. Stephanie Mills was gangster. She said that her husband should have been Tupac. She said that's the type of man she liked. She liked the thug life. So yeah, when Mike turned white, yeah, she was off of that. But support, folks. We need that support. That's how you ignore Oprah. That's how you put Oprah in a place. Salute to Michael Jackson. I love you for that right there. To this day, I love him for that. I remember when he did it, I loved him. I was like, yo, they was like, why are you doing it? I loved him when he did it because he don't need to answer questions, especially the way she probably going to go into it. So and if you don't want to answer it, don't hear it. He didn't hear her question, so he can't answer it. We're going to go to, I'm going to do this probably another day, maybe Saturday. I'll probably go into this one on Saturday again because I'm going to come back and do it because I have some more videos I'm trying to pull up. I want to find an Oprah Winfrey video with her and Michael. I don't know why I cannot find it. With her, Michael, and Lisa Presley. Because that was a very interesting interview. The body language was amazing. The body language was amazing. And that's that. All right, folks. Just real quick, this is the interview I'm going to pull up. But I don't have a commercial.
Okay, breathe. We're going to get out of this. And we're going home. .com. Today.
The two, like, I don't want them to cross. I know that it's hard to have them not, but I wanted to sit and really have a conversation about things that are, more on a personal level now out of the way before I do have an album coming out, which I will sometime next year because
I get that. I get that. You didn't want to be in the position of promoting an album and having people ask you about Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
The star-crossed love affair between Lisa Marie Presley and Michael Jackson started in 1993. What began as friendship bloomed very quickly into something more. And in 1994, Lisa Marie shocked the world when she married Michael Jackson. And just a year and a half later, their marriage was over. They had not spoken for nearly a decade when Michael was found dead on June 25, 2009, at a rented home in Los Angeles. You've not spoken about Michael Jackson since his death, other than the blog that you did.
Right, and I really didn't speak well. When I see previous interviews, I'm barky and I tend to want to skirt out of it, and I would find quick little exits defensively out of it. So
yeah, it's interesting because the very first interview that we did together, when I asked you, was it a real relationship, you became a little barky and defensive because
I didn't understand my relationship with him.
Well, having gotten to know you since then, I understand your defensiveness coming from your point of view, but coming from my point of view, the viewer's point of view, the world didn't know what to make of that, right? And really still doesn't know what to make of that. And therefore your blog after his death, where you said, I want to set the record straight. This relationship was not a sham. This was a real marriage. I think really struck a lot of people.
And I'll leave that for part 2 because, like I say, support, and don't let no one troll you out of giving that support. All those people who know me from day 1, 2020, thank you for your listening ear. Thank you for your true support. Thank you for just holding me down. Thank you for believing me on my situation. Thank you for not calling me no names. Thank you for not calling me out my character. Thank you for your monetary support. Thank you for your phone calls. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for not talking negatively about me. And if you did, thank you for even coming back and saying to yourself mentally, maybe that you was wrong. Thank you for agreeing that you were wrong for even going against me, because you still see I'm standing, I'm strong, and I'm stronger than ever. I've always been strong because I am strong. I represent strength. Just because you think I'm weak, that don't mean nothing. And thank you for not trying to make me weaker. And even when I'm feeling weak, I'm still strong. Understand? Even when I feel like I'm weak, I'm still strong. And I want you to believe that too, because we don't have no time for pill popping and then dropping, folks. We don't have no time for pill popping and dropping. You can't break me. You won't break me. Only thing you're going to do is make me get angrier and step it up to another level. And those people who's giving that support, they're going to help me get to that next level. Period. Thank you, folks. Thank you. It's a Lisa and a Stephanie and all you ladies. There's a Lisa Presley and a Stephanie Mills and all you women. Like she said, I'm just want to set the record straight. It was a real relationship, bitches. Thank you for your listening ear, your support. Continue supporting folks. Continue showing love. Start coming up to my panel. Stop playing yourselves. If you come on to my live, start putting something in my damn chat. Start talking to me. Because I can entertain. It's 2 hours, 31 minutes, and I'm stopping myself from continuing. I'm saying I'm going to do part two. Just it's not like I'm rushing to go do anything. I'm about to just go make up some buttons. I'm about to make some product for myself. But it's not like I can't continue this conversation. But the conversation will be much stronger when y'all converse with me. I just seen someone's live stream just now. I looked at the phone. They had like 900 people in their live stream. They have 900 people in their live stream right now as we speaking. And I have 4 people in my live stream as I'm speaking. And there's people dying to get on their panel just because they acting like this person's celebrity. Because he has a few 100,000 subscribers and things like that. So people think that, yo, I gotta be part of the thing that seemed to be hot. But yet still, those things that's really on fire, we try to cool it off. So thank y'all for adding the fuel to the fire and helping me keep this ablaze. I actually have another channel. I started my other channel. So if this channel do get knocked off, I do have another channel. Those who do know of me should know the name of my channel. It's very simple. I am my channel. I represent my channel. So those who know me should know the channel name. Very simple name because it's my name. It's the name of it's who I am, what I represent. So if anything happened to this channel, find me there, folks. That channel is set up for a different crowd. That channel is really being set up for people who's really want to be part of the support team and everything like that. I leave this channel, and if this channel survives, I leave this channel up for conversation, entertainment, things like that. But my other channel is for networking, building, upliftment for youth. You dig? So that's where we at right now. So if there's anybody who'd like to help and support, $ Icy Don 167. We still going to court, but I'm not even going to talk about that. But we're still going to court. This is what I got in the mail, folks. Like I said, support. We talk about support. Let me flip this real quick. This is what I get in the mail. Like I say, black men, we really need support. I get this in the mail the other day for a situation from a person who's trying to take me out the game, and it's sort of about Exhibit A. I need support. I need help. These people are wasting so much time and energy trying to get out of a case of paying me when all they need to do is just pay me. That's how you get out the situation. Just take care of me, pay me. If Michael Jackson can pay for something that he didn't do, why can't you pay me for something that I did do? I worked. Just pay me. I need support, folks. So if there's anybody out there who can help me out, get on some people's channel, like you might be affiliated with another person who channel. They might have thousands more subscribers than me. They might have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Help me get on their platform. Help me get my story out into other people's platform, because we do need that finances, because we need to be able to package. We need to be able to buy more product. See, we need more product, folks, so we can make more things for these young people to be able to sell. You know, that's what we're doing right now. That's what I'm about to do right now. So I'm about to get off so I can start making my product. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing right now. We're making product for our youth to be able to sell. Before it was Amazon, it was Project Picnic. Thank you for your listening here, folks. Your support. Have a beautiful evening. Take care. Stay as dry as you can be. And I'll see you when I see you. What's my topic that I was supposed to be live on right now? Let me see real quick. Maybe I decided to do it. I'm going to eat me some food. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to probably make me something to eat and probably come back live. Let me see. What's the next topic? Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm doing a music video soon. I'm going to do a music video. I know you like music video. Yeah, we're going to do a music video. So tune into that, okay? Wrote a song. One of my topic. I wanted to be live on this one. What was this one? Oh, we was going to talk about that statue, the Martin Luther King statue. Yeah. That's what I wanted to talk about. The Martin Luther King statue, folks. Perversion. And that also falls underneath support, though, too. Black support, because the statue was representing Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, and it was resembling, it was showing the resemblance of Black love and support. So that's actually also in the same field and topic, folks. You understand? That's in the same field and topic. So, guess what I'm going to do? Am I in that zone? Am I in that zone? I'm trying to think, am I in that zone for me to transcend from this right to that one? Do I want to go in from here into that? Or do I want to go get me something to eat? And then, because I got to cook. So, I mean, I need me a wife. I ain't even looking for no girlfriend. I don't need no girlfriend shit. I need me my wife. I need me a woman, someone that I can enjoy, someone who enjoy me, and things like that. Because right now I'm about to get off my bed and stop doing what I'm about to do to go cook. And I do like eating my food. I ain't gonna lie. I be licking my food. My food good, folks. I like eating my food, especially when I'm about to make love to it right now. But I won't mind, being able to do live, and then honey comes and be like, yo, is Don ready to eat? But yeah. And she's like, okay, and she bring me the food. I deserve that. How many people think they deserve that type of love? I deserve that. I don't deserve this shit. Yo, I didn't show my Rambo. That's a good thing, right? So, folks, once again, we're going to do part 2 of the Lisa Presley and Stephanie Mills, because I have another Stephanie Mills one too. Like I say, I'm gonna stay on this because this is about love. We're gonna bring this all the way to Valentine's Day too. We're gonna talk about serious situation where people stand by their men and show their love. You know what I'm saying? It's very important for us to really keep that going. Very important for us to keep that going. We need love, folks. All right. Thank y'all for your listening ear. Thank y'all for your support. Yo, Bronze, Flat Power God. Yo, this is my first time seeing you. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in. I really I don't know. I kind of want to come back live. I might come back live and do that one. Okay, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I might come back live and do that Martin Luther King one because I want to get it off my timeline, and I want to talk about it because the topic with the Martin Luther King is, has perversion destroyed? Okay, because a lot of us, we see things, and the first thing that comes to my mind is perversion. And I didn't really pay attention to it until I saw it, and I'm like, what is? I ain't gonna lie. I pressed it, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I just got it out the way. I didn't know nothing about what people were saying. And then that was 2 days ago. Then, today I'm looking and, I saw people talk about how it resembled like a penis and shit like that. And I'm like, that's the way that y'all perceive stuff, that y'all really see. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. I mean, I was turning upside down. What the hell is this? I was like, what the hell is that? Because of the angle. But then when I read it up and I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's unique. See, being an artist, artists are really weird. You know what I'm saying? Especially sculptures, artists, they're very unique and weird. And the eyes and lenses that they look through different eyes and lenses. So they're gonna see things, the art they see, you're gonna be like, what the hell is that? What are those? You know what I'm saying? And then when you look through the camera from different angles, you can be able, just like looking at the clouds. When you look in the clouds, you can see animals and stuff like that. So of course you're looking at sculpture, you're looking from that angle. It did look like this woman holding a freaking snake in her hand. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she was holding an anaconda in her hand. It looked like she was holding somebody or something disgusting in her hand. It did look like that. But that's only because in our minds, that's what we think of. And so I want to get into that topic too. Gotta eat. Make me some fish and some noodles. That's what I'm gonna eat. Nice and simple. Some fish and some noodles. And I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for your listening ear, your support. Once again, if you can help me with my situation, get on someone's panels, a few people panels, and tell the story, because I need some energy with this whole court case. I need it. But do not talk about the court case, although I always talk about the court case because that's what I'm going through. It's about Black love and support Black men. Peace.